This is the drama that made my entire March, and that is going to be I rated this the perfect 10 out of 10. Hello. I am back after quite the long hiatus actually this month. The entire year has actually just been such a busy year for me. I was literally working a different job while doing content at some point in my life, and now I'm only working my one job, and content has really just I've really just not found time for it. I think it's mainly because I started doing other things with my life, like going to pickleball, playing more tennis. And I think with the whole work-life balance, I decided to focus more in on life. And so work has taken a little bit of a back burner, which is honestly very new to me because I am not someone that goes out very often. But today we are back to our regular drama programming. But one thing out of the ordinary today is that this video is sponsored by AirLearn. AirLearn is a language learning app that's been featured in the top 10 charts in the Apple Store in over 50 countries. For us drama lovers, this is a great tool because they offer languages Korean and Chinese, making our dream of understanding dramas without subtitles one step closer. So first up, I am going to start with K-dramas as usual. I always start with the currently watching, and the funny thing is, as of today, I am actually watching 0 dramas on air, which is quite the shock. Yeah, but by the time this video is out, I will be watching Resident Playbook and The Divorce Insurance, so if you want to hear my thoughts on that, please join the Discord. The invite link is somewhere in my description, so yes, if you want to know right away, it'll be there. Otherwise, I will get back to you on my thoughts of that in the end of April or the beginning of May. For dramas that I completed, because there are quite a lot in this month, we're going to first start up with My Dearest Nemesis. So the first drama that I finished watching on air is My Dearest Nemesis, and I gave this a 7 out of 10. This year, I'm trying to be a little less generous with my ratings, so I think if you compare to my last year's 7 out of 10s, I feel like I like this better, and I am not going to readjust all of my old drama ratings, so year by year, here we go. Honestly, this wasn't that interesting to me, but basically my thoughts about this drama are that it was really lighthearted and had almost no depth to it. I really liked Moon Ga-young's character. I thought she was a strong female lead that had her soft sides, but I feel like she was very straightforward about her feelings and communicated it. I actually thought there were quite a couple scenes that I thought were really well done and that kind of went outside of my expectations, which is definitely really refreshing when watching rom-coms. But in the end, I just didn't really feel their chemistry. I wasn't really attached to his character. There's a lot of kind of unrealistic plot situations. I think his entire relationship with the grandma was really stupid, and I didn't like the way the story wrapped up. Overall, the gaming aspect of it, I didn't really see the point or the purpose. It did have some depth here and there, but when I was watching this, I was honestly kind of bored out of my mind. So there was no real emotional appeal for me, and I was kind of watching it just to watch it at certain points. Yeah, so that's kind of why it's just kind of sitting there at a 7. And next up, I literally just finished this 2 days ago. This is the drama that made my entire March, and that is going to be When Life Gives You Tangerines. And I rated this the perfect 10 out of 10. I am expecting this to be my drama of the year. It was just so well written. I am not going to lie, I honestly see this being really, really hard to top. If you don't know, I am a big fan of When the Camellia Blooms, who is the same writer, Im Sang-chun. And really, When the Camellia Blooms was really great. I think it had a lot more romance in it, but this story had so much depth. And this is the kind of drama where I cannot find a single flaw with it. I was watching week by week oh, this is really good. And then I get really concerned in the second half of dramas that they're going to fall apart. So when I watched the first 2, I was like, okay, I have this rated out of 9 and we'll kind of see where the story goes. And yeah, she every single episode was really good, really perfect. I thoroughly enjoyed all my Friday mornings of March. I woke up and binged all 4 episodes. It was great. For me, the main appeal is that it's such a realistic story, and I think you can definitely see how all of these characters and traits exist somewhat in real life. I guess number 1, the Kwan-sik, the father, he's kind of perfect to the point of being unrealistic. And so I guess that might be the least bit of realism. But other than that, who he is as a father, who Aesun was as a mother, how their daughter and their family dynamics worked out. Like, there were so many relatable points that just hit really close to home. And I loved the message of it all. Like, life is like crazy and everything, but it's beautiful at the end of the day. And honestly, it was just so heartwarming. I cried every single set of 4. And I really liked how unique it was in that it told the story in 4 different parts. And each part was not like a cliffhanger. So I feel like the writer didn't try to bait us, you know? They weren't trying to like create the suspense and like twist things and do things to us. They were just telling like a very heartfelt story, and it was great. Like, it's so well done. The writing of this is phenomenal. The attention to detail, just the messages. I know a lot of people are saying that you can tell this is written by a woman. I definitely agree. It's very strong on the woman empowerment, which also makes me love it so much. So I think that's also why it really resonated with me. I know some people were a little bit upset we didn't get to see a lot of Park Bo-gum, but I think the adult actors with the like teenage actors, I honestly think they were like seamless, like they were flawless, like there was really no difference. Like when I was seeing old Asen, I was seeing IU in her, and when I see Kwon-sik, the older actor, I was seeing Bo-gum in him. I know IU had a lot more roles in the drama compared to Park Bo-gum, but I was completely fine with it. What mattered to me was like the acting was so consistent, the characters, everything was so flawless, worked together. This is the kind of drama that makes me think like, wow, how was someone able to kind of identify these little moments in life and show and like create this one big story that just feels so real. And I cannot sing enough praise about this. I really am thinking about making a full video about this drama, reviewing it and everything that I loved about it so much. This drama was definitely like a warm hug, and I can definitely see myself going back to it. I love the messages it sent, and yeah, this is gonna be really hard to beat. I'm really going to be shocked if anything can really beat it this year. Everything about this drama was so well done, like whether it was the way the story flowed, the acting, even the choice of words. And as someone who understands Korean myself, I think it was really nice to understand the nuances of every word they chose, because the language was so beautiful and it was able to convey these specific nuances, which is where AirLearn comes into handy. Korean is one of the languages that AirLearn does offer, and you can learn vocabulary through AirLearn's teaching slides. That not only does it teach vocabulary, but it also gives you examples of how it's used, so it can help you understand the nuances of each word, which definitely helps with understanding. And in addition to Korean, AirLearn also offers Chinese, because as you know, I am a huge C-drama fan as well. So if you're more of a Sangyan fan than a Kwon-sik fan, AirLearn is also a very helpful tool in learning Chinese, so you can look at their faces instead of reading the subtitles, which is definitely a little bit more enjoyable. And you can try AirLearn for free using my link in the description below. Once again, thank you AirLearn for sponsoring this part of the video. So, a strong contender for drama of 2025, and it's only been 3 months in, so this year might be off to a good start, but yeah, we'll definitely have to see as it keeps going. And so next up, I know this is going to be a very unconventional review and rating, and it's going to be for Undercover High School, which is the drama that I literally finished today, and this is going to seem really, really harsh, but I rated this a 6 out of 10. I know 6 is really mean for this drama. Like, it really wasn't that poorly written, but number one, this isn't my genre, so there's no sort of bias, bonus, fluffy points. For me, I've also seen this trope before. It's where this adult goes back into high school, and I think My Strange Hero was a better version of this. They're very different things, okay? Very different. My Strange Hero was definitely way heavier on the romance, which is what made it enjoyable for me personally. And for this, it's a whole like suspense thriller kind of drama, and it just wasn't very suspenseful nor interesting. It's shorter too, so it's at 12 episodes rather than the classic 16, and it just felt really undeveloped to me. Like when I was watching today's last episode, there's this whole like bond he forms with his high school classmates, but none of it felt real to me. Like honestly, he did not interact with like any of his high school classmates for me to feel like emotional about it all. One thing that I'm also really confused about was his romantic relationship development. Honestly, as a couple, they were so cute, because Kangjun, like, I don't know if it was just the actor or his role, but he is so soft. Like, he's just such like a baddie, and like, I don't know if baddie's the right word. He's just like this very intense, cool, like FBI agent. Sorry, NIS, National Intelligence Service. And so he's just like really good at his job, really powerful and cool, whatever. And then when it comes to her, he's just such a softie. He's so gentle with her. It is honestly the cutest thing ever. But we didn't get enough of it. And low-key, they like didn't date like the entire drama, which is pretty upsetting for me. I didn't feel like it left us with any messages, and honestly every other character in this drama was really annoying except for our 2 high school girlies. I think their names are Yena and Yujung. So they are the only other interesting characters of this entire drama. I wasn't very interested in the whole ghost plot going on, and yeah, for me it was hard getting through every episode, and the only reason I ended up watching this drama was because I saw how soft Kang Joon was to like his girl, you know? So that was like the entire point I watched it. Otherwise, getting through this episode by episode was pretty much a struggle. I skipped through so much, but if you're into this genre, it's definitely not bad. Like, there's nothing really wrong with this drama. I just personally wasn't emotionally invested because it's not my genre, and just the direction they took the story and general like characters, plots, like none of it was really like off the charts amazing for me, which is usually how it has to be for something in this genre. So very unpopular opinion, but you know, if you like it, I can totally see and understand why. It's just not really for me. Okay, and shockingly enough, I actually finished one of the dramas that I said I was going to finish. I finished it actually really early in March when there was like nothing airing, because clearly this was a pretty slow month, considering this is the last drama, K-drama I'm going to be talking about for this month. And so this is When the Stars Land. And I finally completed it, and this is actually going to be such a shocking rating, but I rated this a 6.5 out of 10. And I know it's really, really goofy in comparison to Undercover High School, because Undercover High School was definitely of a better quality. This drama is a train wreck through and through. I do not think there's any way you can like not think this was a train wreck, but for me, at least the first half was interesting, and for some reason when I was watching the drama, it was not that hard to actually like watch. Like, it wasn't like I had to skip through scenes. I was kind of curious to see how things went. I was kind of aware that it was going to end the way it was because I saw so many people just talking about how bad the ending was, and I kind of had a feel for what was going to happen at the point that I was at. I think I stopped around episode 12-ish. So I think that was after they did the deed. And yeah, clearly I knew what was going to end up happening, and so when people said the ending was really bad, I had some sort of idea of what was going on. For me, it's definitely in a genre that I'm more interested in, which is sorry why it's better than Undercover High School. Like, there's really no reason for it. Like, I totally understand that this is definitely worse quality. But actually, in terms of quality, the production quality on this was really, really high. I think none of the characters made any sort of sense, but you know, the acting kind of pulled everyone through it. Obviously, I don't like the story at all. Like, who approved of this story is really a big question. Like, who thought this was a good idea? I'd say that the messages they left in the story were pretty bad in my opinion. I didn't understand the whole entire obsession with fertility, which I mentioned in my previous video. I feel like they didn't explore the nuances of science and medical research. Yeah, in general, I just didn't see the vision with this drama, what they were trying to get at, and whatever they were trying to get at, I wasn't taking it. Like, I was not very appreciative of this drama. But you know, Gong Hyo-jin, Lee Min-ho, they had great chemistry. It was good. I liked the idea of their characters, not that I liked anything else related to it. But this, I feel like this is kind of similar to my review of Hierarchy. Like, to the beginning, it's actually not that bad. It has its like moments, but the ending is really like what leaves you feeling like, what the hell just happened? But overall, it wasn't like I had to really like shove my way through this drama. I was actually able to finish it, because some dramas are so boring that I can't even finish it. But this one, I mean, I finished it somehow. Out of all the dramas that I had uncompleted, I finished this one, so that has to mean something. And yeah, I would not recommend this to anyone. Please, save your time. If I was not watching this on air, I probably would never pick this up. And it's such a shame, such a waste of a great cast. Just hopefully in the future they do another project, because I would like to see them together again on screen with a better script. Much better script. And I am actually currently watching 2 C-dramas. So first up is going to be the only drama that's actually on air, and that's going to be The Glory. And this is completely related to the K-drama The Glory. But I rated this an 8, and I'm currently 19 out of the 30 episodes in. And low-key, if you had come to me 2 episodes, the episodes I just watched, 18 and 19, they have just been so depressing and making me feel like this drama is going to go downhill, because I want dramas to not have like every sort of happiness taken away from our female lead, and that's kind of the case of 18 and 19. I really wasn't happy with the direction they took the story. Like, why couldn't they exist and just kind of be in the background? There's enough issues as it is, and I get that it's sad, but it's like, it's just too sad. I'm gonna continue watching, but I think I just need some space between that. I also really wanted some more romantic development, but it seems like we're getting further away from the romance, which is kind of a shame, because again, you know, we all know I'm only in it for the romance, and with the last 2 episodes, it's just seeming like it's gonna take a while, and I love a good slow burn, but this is getting really, really slow from episode 19 at least. And I'm going to continue watching this because this is the only thing that I'm watching on air right now, which is, I think, a sign of how slow March has been for dramas, even though we did have the masterpiece that was When Life Gives You Tangerines. Yeah, it's just kind of a shame because I started this thinking, oh my god, this is so good. I'm so glad to have a drama, to watch, to be excited and look forward to. But yeah, it's not going well with the last 2 episodes. And next up, I am currently watching this drama, The Best Thing, and I know a lot of you might think this is going to be very up my alley, but unfortunately, I'm not enjoying it very much. This is actually already completed, but I am on episode 6 out of the 28 that is coming out, and I currently have this rated at a 7 out of 10. Again, you might be really shocked because this seems really, really like the type of drama that I would enjoy, but if I'm being honest, I am struggling to get through the episodes. Like, this is the kind of drama where I'm just like so bored out of my mind, and I just want to skip everything forward to see the actual like romantic relationship. I think it's cute. They're both very soft people, very sweet. I don't really have any sort of emotional investment though. Like, who they are individually as characters, like as the background, like I'm not very interested nor attached to them. I think he's great and cute, but one part of me that I can't get over is the fact that they are patient and doctor. And like, he's not being creepy at all. He's very green flag. There's nothing wrong with what he does, but one part of me is just kind of like, this is just weird. Like, even if my doctor were hot and young, like, I still feel like it just feels wrong in some sort of ways. I guess one thing is he is traditional Chinese medicine and not like Western medicine, if that makes it any different, but it honestly still doesn't. Traditional Chinese medicine, with the way he's doing things, he honestly just sounds like a parent nagging rather than a doctor giving you medical advice. I also think as of now, this is leaning pretty far into the traditional Chinese medicine, which is something that I'm not really interested in, which was similar to my review of Gen Z. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels kind of off for me, and I don't feel the chemistry. I can see why people would enjoy it. It's cute, it's fluffy, it's a lighthearted watch, but I don't know. I just want something more from it, and I don't know if I'll be able to finish it. I think if I were to actually get to the part where they're dating, I would enjoy it and appreciate it a lot more, because I do like Zhang Linghe. He's great. He's attractive, and I feel like that's really what you're watching like modern dramas for usually. At least that's what I am. I don't know about you, but that is for me. I just can't get myself through it. It's just a shame. It just isn't connecting with me, and that's that. Okay, and for dramas I've completed in this month, there are 2. One of them is going to be Always Home, and I rated this an 8.5. So I was really needing this because I think Chinese school dramas are honestly just the best. I think they're so good at portraying what it's like to be young and like youthful and that kind of like carelessness joy, I would say. Yeah, I just think Chinese school dramas are so iconic. They're so well done, and I honestly just needed one, and Always Home did exactly that for me. Always Home was definitely a lot deeper than most school dramas go, and the direction they took it was very interesting, very deep on familial relationships and friendships, and it definitely shows you different stories of different people and how life really has those ups and downs. And so all of that, the way they wrote those stories and how things in your life impact you and your growth. And so that's honestly what made Always Home really stand out of like countless school dramas. I will say for me, the only con, which is honestly quite goofy in the grand scheme of things, is the romance. Like, surprisingly, they seemed like they got together like a lot earlier, like emotionally, and then there was this whole thing about it really struggled to actually get together, and we have very few scenes of them actually together. Like, they got together really, really late in the drama, shockingly enough. But outside of that, where they took the story, I thought was really well done. The messages that they left, I think these were all really good, great. I would say I do think there are slightly better school dramas out there, but I will say that this one did the depth and like very human stories really, really well, and definitely really stood out in those ways. It was very unique in that storytelling. So I think that's really what makes this pretty solid drama, even though the romance was kind of just weird, the direction they took it in. Okay, and finally, the drama that you guys are all probably waiting to hear about. Yeah, it's going to be First Frost, and I rated this a 9 out of 10. So I am not going to deny this is a very emotional rating. I think the quality of this and the idea is a 10 out of 10. I would say the execution was not as great. There are just some details that if they were gone, this would make it a lot better. So we're just going to start on the cons. I am not going to lie that this is not without its flaws. Like, it's really, really good. And there's a lot that I have to ignore in order to give it as high as a rating as I do, because some of the good moments are just so good. But for the cons, I don't deny that Sungyeon is a little bit of a creep. Not a little bit. He's very creepy. And it's just in specific details. Like, he would be perfectly fine if you didn't include details. So, for spoilers, one is him going on a plane to go see her in Ihe University when they are not talking. That is just plain weird. You do not know each other. That's just a lot of effort and energy exerted for someone that you don't know. And if it wasn't reciprocated, that's just really, really weird. Yeah, some of his behaviors are borderline stalkerish. He's like following her everywhere, and none of that was romantic. When I heard it too, I was kind of like, what the hell? And you would do completely fine with the story without having those details. And this drama just had a lot of those strange, weird details. Yeah, he's just kind of like really fixated on her and giving her everything. I know that's another con that people have, that like, why does he love her? Because she's kind of like toxic and like going through stuff. I can get more past that because I think part of it is his obsession as a child, like, and I think our past has a really big influence on who we are today. If he had met Won Ifan when he did, like, as adults, he probably would have never fell for her. But I think he has that sort of attachment to her as like a young person, the way that, you feel attached to your family because there's just like all this history between you in the past. Obviously, I do agree that like if she weren't that person to him in the past, he should not have been in love with her. And so aside from that main he's stalkerish point, another really annoying point is just how much this girl gets harassed in this drama. I understand that a lot of the character is supposed to be that she's really going through stuff, but does she need to get harassed like 24/7? There was a point where I think the production team had to be like, hey, we're sorry. We're going to prevent doing more scenes in the future. But genuinely, it's just a lot. And I think we've already got the point across, and they're just like beating this point like until it's like too much. So I would say there are a lot of really useless, stupid scenes that they could have spent developing our main leads instead. One I know that everyone hates is the whole grandpa story. I'm not gonna lie, it's really random. Like, it's not even the fact that we just aren't invested in them as characters, and I'm low-key confused about what's going on like half the time, that to the point that I just did not like the second leads. Like, I just did not see their purpose and why they existed. But then once they finally got together, I was like, oh my god, they're actually really cute, because it's like a player turned soft boy with a like headstrong independent girl. Like, I thought it was cute. Like, she called the shots, once they got together it was fine, but like the development, I was like, dear god, like, why do we have to spend so much time on them when we could spend more on characterizations of our main leads? So those are like the main flaws I have with this drama. But to talk about the great points of this drama, I think there is just so many iconic, emotional, angsty scenes, and I think those are really like the main reasons that a drama can stand out so much. So yeah, I think there's a lot of scenes of just when Ifan and her emotions, just that hopeless feeling is just like hits you so hard. And I think it's just the acting and the entire situation, it's just really beautiful, especially in the way they find solace in each other and being able to vividly feel and see that. I think just the way they look at each other, like, they just look so good together. And like, even though she does have her like moments, I genuinely think that they are so good for each other as characters. Like, he really finds comfort and peace with her, and finding someone that can bring you that sort of like feeling is also really important despite all that she's going through. But at least with what she's going through, it is justified. She's not doing it to hurt him on purpose, but she's just so messed up and so broken that she's doing that, which also makes everything slightly more justifiable and eventually forgivable. Like, what she does throughout the drama is wrong, and she knows it too, and he just kind of forgives her, and it's honestly onto him whether or not things affect him or not. And like, the hurt that she gave him did not affect his overall happiness of like the way she made him feel in the end. Like, yeah, she did put him through all this like traumatizing stuff, but at the end of the day, she made him happier than she made him traumatized. And I think that's what matters in a relationship more. But yeah, they were incredible. Their chemistry, it's crazy how far chemistry can get you, because yeah, this carried this drama up to a 9 when I honestly think objectively this should be like an 8, because execution, yeah, kind of, and there are quite a couple scenes that I have to be like, I just don't want to think that this happened. But other than that, like, there are so many beautiful, iconic scenes, just feeling loved, feeling seen. That is in this drama. That's what makes it so romantic. That's what makes it so enjoyable to feel loved, to be loved. I think that is definitely, like, it's so vivid in this drama. So I love it. It is, I think I could definitely do a more in-depth analysis of this too. So if you do want to see a full drama review video about it, let me know. I need also some time to gather my thoughts and kind of eloquently tell you what's going on, because clearly I'm not trying to give too much about the story just in case you want to watch it, because I generally think that that's what these videos are for, to kind of see if you want to watch it or don't watch it, without giving too many spoilers, even though a lot of these are pretty spoiler heavy, but you know. And with that, I will start on the BL section, and I'm pretty much going to speedrun this because there's not much that has changed. So I'm still currently watching Perfect 10-liners. I am at episode 18. I don't think it's done yet, and I currently have this rated at an 8, and I think I'm going to just say the similar things from last time. I actually don't think I've watched many episodes in the month of March. I know it's only airing once a week, so I'm not that behind. But yeah, if you don't know, there's 3 couples in here. I really, really love the first couple. The first couple would literally be a 10 out of 10 if the story was just them, because it's short, sweet, cute. It does what it needs to do. There's not a lot of depth, but, you know, it's an enjoyable watch, and I thought that's all it needs. At least that's what I expected from it. And then the second couple, I'm just not into them, not into their dynamic. And right now we're on the third couple. I think the third couple is better than the second couple, but I still have to watch it. I'm probably just gonna binge it when it's done. There's only like 6 episodes anyways. So yeah, it's pretty solid. It's good. It's cute, fluffy watch. It's a nice, lighthearted thing. Just nothing too pulling at the moment. If anything, I would have been enjoying this a lot more if our first couple was currently airing, so I'd have something to look forward to, because there's nothing I'm really looking forward to these days. But, you know, it is what it is. So Perfect 10-liners, like, solid, cute watch. If you're bored, yeah, check it out. Nice school drama, because I love me some school dramas. I think Thai BLs do those pretty well too. What it's like to be youthful and like happy, fluffy love, you know. So it does that well. So yeah. And then for dramas, I finished. One of them was Thame Heart That Skips a Beat. I rated this an 8, and I would say this is also kind of uncommon rating. As I mentioned in my previous video, I personally do not feel how the romantic relationship developed. I just wanted a little bit more depth to it. And yeah, I personally just wasn't really attached to the CP. I think individually as characters, there was nothing that really drew me towards them, nothing that I really related to. Like, everything was just cute, and to me it felt very surface level, and I kind of wanted it to go a little deeper, especially because this wasn't your like normal BL, because BLs tend to be goofy and like over the top, I would say, is kind of like a big comedic point that they do. And this drama didn't have that, which made it a lot more serious, and what I liked about it, it felt more of a quality drama. But just beyond, I don't know, I feel like I didn't really see like the human side of them and their backgrounds and who they were as people. It was kind of just like, I don't know, again, like surface level for me personally, even though I do know a lot of people really liked it. Yeah, I just think it needed some more development in terms of background and just why the characters felt the way they felt, why they were who they were. Like, especially with, I don't know, I'll give an example is like Thame. Like, he was just honestly just kind of perfect. Like, what led him to this situation? Like, what was his upbringing? Like, what are his like thought processes, you know? How was his like his like emotional struggle? Like, what was the internal like conflict? I just wanted a little bit more of that, but it wasn't like bad in any way. It was just like, oh, it could have been better. And so that's why, and it's kind of like an ant drama for me. Cute, short, sweet, yeah, good enough, I guess. Okay, and lastly, I have Secret Relationships. This was definitely not a drama I was thinking I was going to start until I just got really, really bored. So I actually watched this last night, and yeah, I finished it all in one day. I rated this a 6.5 out of 10, and this might also be really shocking, but I'm more shocked why people like this drama, if I'm being honest. I would say the acting is really, really good. I know people said stuff about that. I think it was really well directed. The characters were very interesting, but if I'm being honest, this just went a very, very strange direction. I think some people might think that it's fun in that way, that it's just so suspenseful and unpredictable, and it's kind of just like wild and out there, man. Like, when I got to the plot twist, I was really like, wow, I wasn't expecting that at all, but it was also in a like, why is this happening? It's just much, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm just really shocked why people like this drama so much. Like, I do love the acting. I mean, as characters, they were all very interesting. Especially, they did this well for what a short drama is. But other than that, like, why was our male lead romantic interest so perfect? Like, why was he just so dedicated and loyal? Why was he just like, he was great, like, I'm not gonna lie, but it was like, why is this happening? Also, how did our male lead just meet the people that he met, and why are they both like that? And they're just like, I mean, people like that exist in real life, but I was just like, why am I watching this? Why is this happening? Yeah, I was more confused than anything else. I mean, where are my romantic fluffy moments? I don't really know. I also think our male lead was very confusing as a character. Like, I didn't understand why he made the decisions that he did, and like, honestly, he honestly felt like he had no personality, but everyone was in love with him. So yeah, I think reverse harems still just not my thing. It was interesting, but it was just too weird for my liking personally. But I know people really like this. If you're into something very original, yeah, maybe you could give it a maybe you can check it out, because the acting is really good, and the story is logical. It just isn't very enjoyable, in my opinion. So that was that for me. And with that, that's all the dramas that I am watching and have watched this month. I do plan on trying to check out Hyperknife. I'm a big Eunbin fan, and I've heard good things about it. So yeah, it seems like that's good. I know Buried Hearts is going on, and low-key, the male lead and female lead have so much chemistry that I want to watch it, but I know it's too political heavy. I think I'm just going to skim through scenes. I'm definitely not going to actually pick it up. That's too many hours for too little like amount of time of scenes that I want to actually see. And then the last one is a C-drama, Northward. I'm debating about starting it. I've seen good things about it, but at the same time, it's like I haven't seen enough rave reviews to actually like confirm me to start it. I also just have a lot going on with my life, and none of these dramas are, I guess, performing so well that I really want to watch them. I feel like March was pretty empty for me in terms of dramas. I feel like I'm usually watching a lot more. And I don't really know what else in this year I'm really looking forward to. I feel like there's quite a couple C-dramas though I am looking forward to, but I have no idea when the air date was. I know there were rumors that Legend of the Female General was going to come out sometime, but I don't see it. I don't know when it'll be out. Hopefully it comes out soon, because that is something I've been wanting to watch. I think Reborn is supposed to be coming out soon too. I think I saw some more trailers of it, but yeah, so hoping drama world picks up. We did have some really, really good ones in March, mainly When Life Gives You Tangerines. But other than that, yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit in a drought for dramas, and yeah, hopefully it picks back up. And once again, if you are interested in learning languages in addition to Korean and Chinese, AirLearn also offers Spanish, French, German, and Japanese. And again, the link is in my description if you would like to try it for free. And yeah, that kind of wraps up all for today's video. We'll see if there are more drama updates in April. But if not, definitely you'll come back in May, and I will have more reviews of the dramas that I'm watching and done with. So with that, I will see you in the next one.